another story time for you and yours on a nice little Sunday here. Okay, so check the vibe out, okay? When growing up, I was never exposed to the Protestant church. I was raised Catholic. Sunday mass, Wednesday mass, you name it, ringing the bell in the church and stuff to signify 6 p.m. and 12 p.m. and all that good stuff, you know what I mean? Good Catholic boy. Wink, wink. Anyway, that was all fine until one night. It was this like really cool, breezy, tropical night and thing. I had just finished eating and I decided to do my usual routine, you know what I mean? I'd step out into the veranda, you know what I mean? Smell the roses and thing coming, that was planted in the backyard and thing, you know what I mean? I'd sit down in my chair. It was this old mahogany chairs that my mom used to keep out in the veranda and thing, you know what I mean? Pull out my cushion peng, a little bit of Mary Jane and thing, and blaze up. And then I'm gonna sit there for a minute. I tell myself, hey, big fellas, just sit here, relax and thing, you know what I mean? Enjoy the evening. The moon was out, man, everything was kind of a silverish color to it, the leaves and everything, you know what I mean? And then in the night you could hear like the crickets, and sometimes, late night birds chirping and stuff like that. It was about 8 p.m. It wasn't really, really late, 7:30, 8 p.m. So after a smoke and thing, I'm sitting there and I'm nice, I'm enjoying it, you know what I mean? All the sounds and, every once in a while you heard a kid screaming or yelling as they play and thing, And after a while for sitting there and thinking, he said, hey, let me go down the street, you know what I mean? My house was the last house in the village, so then I had to walk down the village dirt road, you know what I mean? Or was it gravel? Okay, it was a road like they attempted to pave it, but it was pebbles. And I got to the main street, a street called a road, or highway if you want to call it, called True Blue. And the houses that was up against it, they had walls in front of the house. So, me and the fellas and thing, we would sit on the walls, chill out, enjoy the evening, smoke a little more, you know what I mean? Tell funny stories and all of that. But there wasn't anybody out there that night. It was just me sitting there. Then I look up to my left and thing, and here comes a silhouette coming towards me, you know what I mean? And car went by and I saw him coming and thing, like a nice little shadow in the orange light coming. And then he stepped into the light coming from the house, because every house had like a veranda light, He stopped there and he said, hey, Evo Stick. That was one of my nicknames, Evo Stick. You want to go to church with me? And I was like, what do you mean go to church, man? It ain't, I'm not walking all the way to the city to go to no Catholic church, He's like, no, man, not no Catholic church, man. We going to church. And he had his Bible. Come on, man. You need Jesus in your life, You need some redemption. You need to be saved, Come on, let's go to church, you know what I mean? And I said, I don't know about that, man, I'm just sitting here meditating, trying to get my meditation ordered thing. And he's like, fella, come on, man, let's go. I said, all right, man, I'll meet you there. And then he gave me directions, It's like, all right, and I'm sitting there. I was kind of hoping the fellas would come out and we would have like, one of our usual evening cracking jokes and enjoying life and thing, But nobody showed up, and I thought, I've never been to a Protestant church. Let me go check them out. Let me go see what they're all about and things. So, I decided to trek down there. And mind you, back then there was no street lights, The only light we had was from that moon coming down. So I kept walking and stuff, and I turned into True Blue proper, I would call it, And there was this little building there that was light up. You could see the orange light in between the trees and stuff, There was a little dirt road and thing, So I go in there, and as I'm going down there, more people are coming, walking to this little wooden building, and this was just like one room. Wooden building, with a little stage up there and thing, and more people were coming and coming in there. And as I walk in the church, I look around, I'm trying to find a seat, because I'm gonna sit at the back. Unfortunately, my buddy see me. Damn, I had to be 7 feet tall, didn't I? And he beckoned for me to come sit next to me. He was all excited, he's about to grab a soul, you know what I mean? So I was like, no, man, I want to sit back. He said, no, come sit your tail up here and thing, you know what I mean? So I went up and I sat next to him. And then they all got quiet. And then the preacher said, let's sing this. And I'm sitting there going, okay, let's see how this gonna go. The next thing I know, somebody's beating a tambourine and they're all like, whoa, 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 whoa. They all just like carrying on and singing and hollering and dancing. And I'm like, wait a minute now. Big man, you're not in the Catholic Church. I mean, because when I went to Catholic Church, I'm used to stuff where it's nice and calm and they're going, holy, 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 Lord God Almighty. It wasn't anything like this. They were like, oh yeah, and they were screaming all the Jesus stuff and all that. And I'm sitting there going, whoa, I'm kind of on nerve now. I went straight from enjoying my little meditational moments to like, boom, whoa, these people are fired up. You know what I mean? And I thought that was most of the firing up, because the preacher steps out. And I relax a little bit, and then boom, my man started yelling and screaming. Had the Bible up, and he was just beating that Bible up and saying the things that we should do in the Bible and all of that. You know what I mean? And then he starts saying, the devil is here. He's in you. You have to fight him off. And he was just screaming, and I swear, I don't know if I was just paranoid from the smoking, but I swear the dude was looking at me, pointing at me, and screaming that the devil was in the church. So I'm sitting there like, oh my God, what's going on? Is he here? Is he talking about me? What's going on with all of this? My man is just screaming, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting there going, okay, maybe I should leave, you know what I mean? Because this is not very relaxing at all. This is not the night I had planned, you know what I mean? But then he went from screaming the devil is in you and you have to cast him out to talking about the end times. And one of the things he said is that in the end times, the moon is going to turn blood red. Now, I ain't never heard that before. Then I'm sitting there going, what is this man talking about? That's no first introduction to Protestant preaching. You know what I mean? And he just like went on and on. And of course they had another bout of singing, and then they were talking some kind of different language that I didn't understand, later on I figured out they were talking in tongues, but I didn't know. I was like, what the blood clot? These people ain't even talking English in here. Where am I? What's going on? You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. That scared me more than going to a voodoo meeting because, voodoo is all over the island. Protestants weren't really a big deal at the time. This was the 70s, you know what I mean? But anyway, man, shoot. Service is over. Everybody's walking out. I'm on edge. I'm on edge. Women are coming up hugging me. Hey, man, welcome to the church, Guys walking by, oh, good fella, And it's like, I haven't done anything yet. I'm just scared out my wits here. I don't know what's going on. Children running by me. People, I don't want to talk to nobody. My buddy went off with some other people. You know what I mean? And I decided to walk home. Pitch black. Scared as could be, man, because the devil is in me and he's about to rip my soul out and eat it. I don't know what to expect, you know what I mean? Then I remembered I hadn't smoked all of my stuff, I had some of that stuck in my pocket, because I was going to share it with the fellas and thing. So I snuck into a bush, man, and get my little blaze on and thing, you know what I mean? And then I walk out. I felt a little better. I was a little calm. Then I started to walk up the street going up to my house and thing, and I heard an owl. So I looked up and there must have been a cloud passing over the moon, but I swear to God that thing looked red. It made the moon look red. I was like, oh my God, it's happening now. I'm looking around looking for the devil, like the dark man on the horse to come grab me and take me somewhere. So I was like, I ran home, and I got home and thing, ran straight to my bedroom, threw myself on the bed, covered myself with the sheets, and that night, I tell you what, I laid in that bed there and I could swear I heard footsteps coming up to the door and people standing there, and it was so vivid. I could hear the breathing and all kind of stuff out there, and I could say, Father, death is coming to get me. It's the end of the world, boy. It's the end of the world. I didn't understand any of this stuff, you know what I mean? That was real scary. Now I managed to fall asleep, thinking when I wake up I'm going to be in the pits of hell and there's going to be fire all around me. But then I wake up the next morning and it was hot. Only because it was a tropical day. I got up, went to the door, Oh, the sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the cows are mooing in the pasture back there, and I was like, oh, if this is hell, it's not what I expected, especially from what he described and what will be happening to me when I go to hell. But that was the end of my story there. You know what I mean? And I had two choices: I could stop smoking, or I could stop going to that church. Long story short, I did neither, which means I have more stories about going to those churches. So, those will be coming up and thing, man. I hope you guys are having a great day and thing, enjoying your Sunday, relaxing and thing, you know what I mean? And more stories coming up, so stay tuned for those. Y'all take care of each other, alright? Cool runnings.